Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I've just been busy today, but other than that, I'm feeling okay.
I'm sure many things were accomplished today, right?
Yeah, sort of.
You see? So that's good. So are you ready to start?
I am.
Okay, so let's get started. So last week, you disclosed to me your reasons for coming to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced me to your family and some of the situations that were occurring. Okay, today I want to do something different. Okay, I want to focus more on you. I want you to tell me a little bit more about your relationships. So in this way, it will really help me appreciate you, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so let's start. So tell me about your relationship with Bill.
Well, Bill and I have been married for 17 years now.
Okay.
I met him as a medical researcher, and he was getting ready to graduate from medical school. And, you know, we were both young, both successful, and I really admired his motivation because I soon wanted to get my PhD also. I would say our relationship was very good in the beginning, then things gradually started to change because, well, we had children, and then, you know, with the hours as a physician, he had to work more, and then on top of that, I decided to go back to school to pursue my PhD, so.
Your PhD, wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Thank you.
I encourage you to continue it. It's a great accomplishment.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So I noticed that you said that at the beginning your relationship with Bill was great.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me when you started noticing the change?
Okay, well, at one point, Bill was the only one working. The kids needed more attention, so I stayed at home because they were so young. But then, I guess because he thought he was working and he was the only one, he got this little authority about him. And then he would start saying things like, you know, we're going to do what I say with our money, and, you know, I'm going to make the decisions because you don't know what you're talking about. And he wouldn't even ask for my opinion when doing things. He would just do things how he wanted to. And so, you know, from there, you know, talking to me that way, you know, that's when things started to go downhill for me.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So Rhoda, how did that make you feel though?
Our relationship deteriorating was one thing, but talking to me like that is, you know, unacceptable, and that really frustrated me, and sometimes it made me, like, seriously hate him ever since then. And, you know, from there, that's when the constant fighting started.
Okay. So I see you mentioned hate.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me more about that feeling? What?
I mean, I really don't hate my husband, but, you know, the things that he's doing now, yeah, I do hate that, the way he's making me feel. But, you know, he thinks that just because he's a physician that he can talk to me in any kind of way and just do whatever he pleases. But, you know, hell no. Like, that's not going to make this work for me. And that's not going to happen. That's unacceptable. And, you know, I'm sitting around, I'm running errands, I'm taking care of the children, and I'm on top of that, I'm busy myself with my own schoolwork. And he decides to go out and pick up a golfing hobby. Like, seriously, I need your help. So, I mean, like, that just pisses me off. Like, I'm struggling with schoolwork. Like, I need this PhD. I need that for myself. So, like, it's just frustrating because I had to struggle for everything, and he's just so insensitive to that. Like, he does not think about my needs.
Okay. So you're kind of disturbed because he does not support you in what you want to do. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
Okay. And he's never at home?
No. Wants to go golf.
Okay. I see. Okay, so I noticed you said you struggle. Okay. Can you tell me about that struggle? Can you tell me of a time you felt the same way?
I mean, practically all my life. I mean, since I was raised in a house full of successful men, you know, I've always had to basically compete with my older brother, and it's just, I just always needed to surpass his accomplishments. So it was always like a competition between us.
Okay, so how many brothers do you have?
I have two brothers. I have a younger brother who's a professional football player, and I have an older brother who's an engineer.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with them?
I had a good relationship with my younger brother. You know, he was just silly. I loved him. I love my older brother too, but you know, it was always a competition with him.
Why do you think you always have to compete with him?
You know, I really don't know why I have to compete with him. Perhaps it's because, you know, everything he do, it just came so natural to him, and he was just amazing at everything. And, you know, my dad would tell me, just because you're a girl don't mean that you can't be the best, so go catch up to him. So, I mean, it was just like in me, do what he do, like accomplish things like he accomplished things. So.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you felt, you know, this competition with him? Can you tell me about your earliest recollection about this experience?
Let me think of something. Well, I guess back from childhood, like we would like go outside and my brothers would do like racing. You know, as children, you want to have fun. Well, when our parents was outside, you know, my mom and dad, we would all watch them. But so they were running one time. My younger brother, he got tired. He didn't want to compete anymore. So my dad was like, "Get out there and go run against your older brother. He's not done." So I'm like, you know, okay. Well, basically, all in a nutshell, I lost competing against him, and you know, the look on my father's face, you know, and just the loss itself just made me kind of feel less than him, you know.
What do you mean by less? Can you explain that a little bit more in depth, please?
Like I just felt inferior to him, like I was incompetent, and you know, at that moment, I promised myself that I'm never gonna have that feeling again. I don't want to feel that way.
Okay.
So yeah.
So could it be that because you lost to your brother that day, you felt you had to compete with him every, you know, day?
I really don't know, perhaps, but I know that I understood that feeling very clearly when I felt it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I heard you mention your dad. Your dad told you, you know, just because you're a girl, you can still catch up to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me about your relationship with your father?
My father, you know, he would always tell me something, and I just always laughed about it. But he would say, God created men, but he created something even better, and that was women.
Oh.
And then, like, we would just laugh about it, and he was very encouraging. He always encouraged me to be the best, to be successful, to do more. And so, you know, he told me not to let anyone ever make me feel less than what I could be. So, you know, that's what I really loved about my father. But there was always this one thing, and it just seemed like I could never get it from him. And that was the way, like, he would look at my older brother.
Okay.
When he would come home with good news, it was just like he was amazed, and he gave him this certain gaze. And that's something, I guess, that I always yearned for, and I don't feel like I've gotten that from him.
Okay.
But, I mean, on the bright side, my mom was always proud of me, and she was always happy with everything that I've done. So she was always proud of me.
Rhonda, it seems to me that you appreciated your father's attention more than your mother's. Is that correct?
Well, my father always had the last say in everything, and my mom just agreed. She was basically driven by him and just did whatever he said. And sometimes I feel that she was just treated unfairly because my dad was the superior one, and I kind of hated her for that. So I wish she would have stood up for herself a little bit more.
I see. No, I understand. Well, Rhonda, could it be that you want your PhD because you don't want to be your mother? Or could it be that because you think you're still in competition with your brother? Or maybe could it be that, you know, obtaining your PhD would make you feel like the superior member of the family?
Well, I kind of never thought of it that way. And in a sense, you might be right. I never saw myself as competing. I just thought, you know, that's what I had to do. Like, that's how things go in order to get what you want. So I thought that's what I had to do. And, you know, when I think about it, I mean, I've kind of done some outstanding things, you know. I've accomplished some things, so I should be okay with that. But
You're just pushing yourself.
yeah, I just keep pushing myself, and I guess it's just pressure of me accomplishing what I want.
Okay. Rhonda, congratulations for reaching the point of who you are and for realizing that, you know, perhaps maybe you have been competing all your life.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it. But you know, that's something that I just thought that I had to do in order to get the things that I wanted for myself. But I remember the feeling of competing with my brother, and I kind of feel like that's the same thing I'm doing with my husband. So yeah.
Well, Rhonda, I believe that by feeling inferior to your brother and afraid of unfair treatment, you have, you know, aimed yourself to put an end to those disadvantages and push yourself to be successful.
Okay.
However, because you are not receiving the support you deserve, chances are you see it as a setback.
Yeah, kind of maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
Okay. Perhaps these feelings towards your husband are a reflection of what you seek from your father and that constant rivalry with your brother. But Rhonda, I have news for you. You're not in a competition anymore. You're already successful.
Thank you.
So, we're running out of time. And before we leave, I would like to give you a little homework assignment.
Okay.
You don't have to take anything with you, but it's just more of a challenge, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so first and foremost, I would like to encourage you not to compete anymore, okay? And try to avoid comparisons. I know it's going to be hard, but you know, we can do it, okay?
Yeah.
We can do it.
Okay.
So, this is your homework assignment. So next time you're about to talk to your husband, you know, just act as a person that already received their degree.
Okay.
Okay, and respond to him as an accomplished person. Whatever, you know, that feeling you yearn for, just respond to him like that. And let's see how that works for you, okay?
Okay. I can try that.
Okay.
I will try that.
Okay, so then I'll see you next week, okay?
And I'll tell you about it.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.